The CoinDesk Spotlight is brought to you by Nexo, the place to earn on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and more.
As the world executes a global vaccination campaign against COVID-19, data is key to tracking progress. Several blockchain solutions have emerged, such as New York's IBM-backed digital health pass Excelsior. And earlier this month, Hong Kong launched a digital health passport in partnership with the Chinese University of Hong Kong and ConsenSys. Joining us now is Charles DeHassy, Director of Asia Pacific at ConsenSys, a blockchain software solutions firm focused on Ethereum. Welcome to the show, Charles. So what is the state of COVID-19 and quarantine rules in Hong Kong? Just like to start off with that first right now. And how does this digital health passport help the situation?
So I guess the COVID-19 numbers are fairly under control here in Asia. People are getting their jabs and numbers are getting well. We are still in kind of quarantine. The quarantine here in Hong Kong has been very, very tough. Until a few days ago, we will have to stay 3 weeks in a hotel, a little bit like our good friend Henry Arslanian finishing his quarantine right now. But things are getting easier. And one reason is there is more and more data. And the project we've been working together with the Chinese University of Hong Kong is essentially a COVID data wallet, helping the health professionals to kind of combine and gather all the data related to their COVID life. Should they be taking their temperature themselves? Should they visit an hospital with exposure to COVID? And essentially creating better data for the government to understand what are the behaviors of the virus and who are the people most exposed. So we are very excited about this project. There is already more than 100 healthcare professionals onboarded on the platform and more to come.
Charles, welcome. How much of that data, though, is shared with the Chinese government, and what kind of data are they getting besides just vaccine records? And if it's not tied to anything else, why need a blockchain to do it? Why not just do it, let's say, on an Excel spreadsheet?
Absolutely. I think the problem came from this Excel spreadsheet. So when you look at healthcare professionals, they might be working on Monday in one hospital and on Wednesday moving to another, and they have to document a lot about their exposure to COVID and how much tests and weekly and daily tests they will be doing. And the reality of the market for this kind of data was that the data was totally spread in all corners of the city between your GP, the hospital you visit, the doctor you visit to get your injection, and all this data is actually siloed. So if you want to be able to share with a doctor at the hospital a full set of data about your COVID exposure, it has to be a kind of a data reconciliation, and that's where blockchain comes in. The patients are able to decide to who they want to share the data for how long, and the data remain where the data belongs. So if you get tested into an hospital, or if you get injected on your vaccine by a doctor in another facility, the data remain private. The data is basically coming into the end of the users, and the users can bring to any doctor of their choice when they decide the full picture of their COVID exposure and COVID kind of related events. So using a centralized database will not have worked.
Does the government get any of that data outside of just whether or not people were vaccinated?
The government does not get data. It's very private data. There is regulations in Hong Kong for data privacy, and the platform has been designed to really fit with this requirement. So even though we are in the world of blockchain and we used to see global networks where there is a lot of transparency, when you touch and generate private data, such as healthcare data, you really need to apply these privacy laws, which are in place here as well in Hong Kong.
Charles, just to change topics slightly, I mean, everybody's been following this crackdown happening on mainland China and cryptocurrency. And could you tell us a little bit, what is the situation like in Hong Kong? Do you sense that there will be crypto traders or miners or whoever from mainland China coming to Hong Kong? Or I'm just curious what you see the impact on Hong Kong's crypto market.
Hong Kong has been for a very long time the center of crypto in Asia. People don't really realize, but we have here in Hong Kong more than 3 companies which are listed in the Hong Kong Stock Exchange for some time now. Think of Huobi, OKX, and OSL. Major exchanges such as BitMEX or FTX are also operating out of Hong Kong for years. So Hong Kong has been a blockchain and digital asset city for quite a while. The crackdown in China has not affected the city for now. We remain a special administration regions of China, but we will see in the coming weeks if things are changing. Having said that, there is regulations which are coming into place also, and which have been announced by the Hong Kong government regarding the protections of retail crypto investors here. So in the coming months, the companies operating here in Hong Kong, we need to basically put in place the regulations of the local Hong Kong government. But on the other side, there is also a very strong support of the Hong Kong government for the technology itself, if we put aside the digital asset trading type of activities. So we see, for example, the HKMA working with 4 central banks on the MCBDC bridge, the multiple CBDC platform, which has been designed and built by ConsenSys. And this is the first time you see 4 central banks working together on a shared platform to start to trade CBDCs. So a certain kind of look on crypto trading, but definitely a strong adoption and green light on the technology itself.
Has the atmosphere changed, at least, or has the atmosphere in Hong Kong changed as mainland China does all its crackdowns?
No, for the moment in Hong Kong is as usual. You see from time to time a local tram with a Bitcoin advertising. We don't have any specific restrictions for now in Hong Kong.
Charles, I am just curious with this digital health passport, just one last question. Are people required to use it, or is this something that, you see down the line may be a requirement?
No, it's totally free. People can choose to use it or not. I guess step by step, people will find the benefit of this kind of passport, being able to travel more easily, being able to get access to more services more easily. So there is still a total freedom on usage of the service. But I think in the coming months there will be benefits, and people will slowly be more incentivized to kind of use these new platforms.